You are listening to Food Delight on VOV 24/7, the show for all you foodies out there. Welcome to VOV 24/7's Food Delight. We are Kim Si and Phuong Khanh.
Haggis, the national dish of Scotland, is a highlight of today's show. Scotland's rugged beauty and mystical Celtic charm create a land of mystery which inspires outsiders to explore.
Green pastures, centuries-old castles, festival, Scotch whisky, and especially kills, the traditional costume of Scottish men, are what I know about Scotland.
It would be a mistake to leave out haggis, a savoury pudding of Scotland. And on today's show, we'll welcome Kim McCulloch, a lady from Scotland, who will tell us more about the national dish of her homeland.
I'm Kim McCulloch from Aberdeen in Scotland. Haggis is a traditional dish that we eat in Scotland. It's quite hard to actually make at home. Some people do, but it's very traditional, and there are a few butchers that would make the haggis. One of the main places that they come from is Stornoway, which is in the very north of Scotland. And Stornoway are very famous for their haggis. Haggis was originally a meal in history that was for peasant society, so people that did not have much money. They would, in order to have a big meal, they would make the haggis from offal parts of the sheep.
Kim, how special is the haggis to Scottish people?
We have a very special day in January in Scotland called Burns, which is Robbie Burns, the famous poet, and we address the haggis. So we have a big celebration with haggis, and it's piped into the restaurant or into your house by a piper in a kilt, and we have a special saying that we say to the haggis, and we toast it with a dram of whiskey, and then the haggis is open. It's usually a very large one for the whole table, and we would share that between everyone, and it's a very special day and very, very traditional.
How interesting. If only we had a special day for pho in Vietnam, because pho is my favorite. Actually, what is in haggis?
Haggis is actually made from sheep's stomach. So the lining of the stomach is used to enclose all the ingredients. So like the wrapper, the packaging, it's the sheep's stomach that all the ingredients go into. Then what happens is the heart and the lungs of the lamb, we have beef and trimmings. So fat as well, and some of the lean meat, but usually the cuts or the parts of the meat that are not often used, and they're minced through. We have onion, and oatmeal is a very Scottish ingredient as well, so more familiar maybe with in muesli. So the ingredients of oatmeal are used. This would bind together all of the meat parts with the onion, and the oatmeal is a binder. We season it with salt and black pepper, coriander.
The main ingredients are the liver, heart and lungs of a sheep. It seems like a big and heavy meal. Maybe we can't eat haggis every day. How is haggis cooked, Kim? Do you boil it or fry it?
So once we've got all of the sort of meat ingredients together, they would be the minced parts of the beef or the lamb. It's actually made into an oval shape. So the lining of the sheep's stomach is covering the ingredients to seal it, and this is how you cook it. It doesn't burst, and we would boil it in water. So very basic way of cooking, and it doesn't open out. It stays together. It would be tied at string at either end, and it's oval shape, you know, a big handful size. And because of the sheep's stomach, it doesn't burst when you're cooking. And then we would take it, so when I was talking about burn supper, we would take this to the table and you open it with the knife, you break the stomach lining, and the ingredients inside are cooked. We would serve it with tatties, but that's potatoes, but tatties and neeps, which is turnip.
It sounds like an amazing dish. Haggis must be big if everything is packed in a sheep's stomach. And what about the small haggis you brought us today? It looks quite, small, like a piece of a candy.
I guess nowadays in Scotland we do lots of other things with haggis. We have haggis cora, so an Indian version. We also do little haggis bonbons, so much smaller, more delicate, not a big heavy meal, but just a taste of Scotland, just enough.
Are haggis bonbons cooked the same way as traditional haggis, Kim?
But for the method of the bonbon, what we would do is we would take the haggis out of the sheep's stomach and roll it into tiny little balls, like little chocolate truffle size or sweet size candy. And it holds together. It'll have a little bit of flour round it just to hold it. And then we would roll it in the panko or just in breadcrumbs. And that would hold it. And then in a deep fat fryer, that would make it very crispy.
Thank you, Kim, for your very interesting talk about haggis, the traditional dish of Scotland. And we should have some Scotch whiskey to toast. Please join us again next time on VOV 24/7's Food Delight.